So hello guys, welcome. This video is about passage planning, and in this video we'll see what all preparation is done by second mate prior commencement of the voyage. So here I will also show you practical approach, how I'm requesting ANC, what all things I'm checking, and I will continue to write down over here also, because I always keep a tab of what all things is done in when I'm making the voyage. So here first thing is, whenever the voyage is confirmed, I'll write down the name number, voyage number 127D. I'm writing D means discharging, and then I'm going from a port of Kuala Tanjung to Vigo via Suez. So basically from Indonesia to Spain. Now here one more thing, that I've got two voyages confirmed from Spain also, from Vigo also I got a voyage confirmed to Rotterdam. So my next voyage is same, voyage number 127D, discharging, because we'll be discharging second parcel from Vigo to Rotterdam.
So my route will be something like this.
So these are my two voyages which are already confirmed. So first thing, whenever you get the voyage, the first thing the captain would ask you is the distance. He would ask you to tell him the distance. So to give a rough distance, you can always use this software, port to port.
Here you can write down the name of your port. So this is the distance. Next you can check Vigo to Rotterdam, this distance also. So both the distance I got from this at the beginning stage.
For example, now the distance is 7225 nautical miles. Because a captain always needs a rough distance, this does not need to be any accurate distance. Now this distance is very simple. Kuala Tanjung to Vigo, you have given the distance of 7225 nautical mile, roughly 30-40 nautical miles up and down. It does not matter, plus or minus, it does not matter, because once you get the charts, once you actually make a passage plan, and before commencement, if it is plus or minus 30 nautical miles, it does not matter, because that time you will be giving the exact distance at commencement of sea passage USP. So now in my second voyage from Vigo to Rotterdam, now here also we will be giving the distance, but here now the distance is around 920 nautical mile. This is the distance, but now there is a catch over here. So whenever you are giving the distance, make sure your ship is not passing through ICA area. But if your ship is passing through ICA area, then always you have to divide the distance and give the distance in breakdown. So here my distance would be Vigo to ICA area, and from ICA area to Rotterdam. So this is very important, that you give the distance in such a breakdown. So let me show you by example. What do I mean over here? This is my port Vigo in Spain. I'll be going from Vigo to Rotterdam. This is Netherlands. So here is my port Rotterdam. So this is my voyage. That's my voyage. So the distance is simple, but around here 5 degrees west, this all area is ICA area. This all is emission control area, means here we have to use low sulfur fuel. So that is why we are giving the distance in breakdown, because here the fuel will be different. Here we'll be using heavy fuel oil in this part from Spain to here, and from this part we'll be using low sulfur fuel oil, or we can, sometime it is on some ship diesel oil is used, so it depends. So that is why, that's the reason you are giving the distance in breakdown. So let me show you by one more example. If I have to show you again, this is from the port of Cuba. If you are making a distance, this is my passage plan. If you are making a route, then this is US area. So in US area also, if you will see, I would just mark it. This is ICA line, means once you reach over here, your vessel must be at low sulfur fuel oil, LSFO. So here you can use heavy fuel oil, and here you can use low sulfur fuel oil. So that is why here also, in this case also, if you are going from one port to any port in US, you will also give the distance in breakdown. This will be your total distance, but you will give the distance from Cuba to ICA area is this much distance, and from ICA area to to Houston or wherever US port you are going, you will give the breakdown distance. Now if you are going from US to US any ports, Galveston or Lake Charles or somewhere New Orleans, so for example if you are going from here to here, then it's okay, then it is understood that you are only navigating within the 𝐏𝐻𝐿 area, so all fuel which you will be using will be LSFO because this is 𝐏𝐻𝐿 area. So whenever you are either coming into an 𝐏𝐻𝐿 area or whether you are going out from an 𝐏𝐻𝐿 area, if your two ports are in such a different place, then you must always give that distance in breakdown. Okay, so always check for that whether you are navigating within the 𝐏𝐻𝐿 area or not. So I hope you have understood this, both the example. So in US also we are doing such thing, and while coming to Europe also, all this area is special area for emission control. So this here will use diesel. So here my total distance was although 920, but here my Vigo to 𝐿 area distance is 500 nautical mile. Here we'll be using heavy fuel oil, and then from here 𝐿 to Rotterdam is 420 nautical mile. This is required by chief engineer. So this was about the distance. So once the distance is given, so what I'll do is I'll check the GMT timings. So as I've checked GMT +7, this is my present. Vigo is GMT +1. Doing that, and same from here Spain to Rotterdam also GMT is +1, GMT +1. So here I don't have to do anything, clocks advance or retard, but here I have to retard 6 hours retard. And always on the side, just like I'm going the port of Vigo, always on the side I just make a small note for density, like what will be the density of the port which I'm coming to, because this port I'm already present, so I know the density, but that port which I'm going I will always write down as / over here density. This we'll take from Admiralty of Sailing Direction, or we call that ENP. We will get it from there. Okay, so density is required. So once I'll get the port Vigo density, the same density will be used here. So for Rotterdam I'll be requiring the density always for the next port, because that present port you are already there, so you know the density. Now I've already checked it, I've already been there, so as I know here in Rotterdam that is brackish water. So normally you can calculate oil density at G, density of 1. And Vigo I've checked, Vigo I got the density of 1.025. This is sea water and this is brackish water. So whenever you do your Scott calculation or draft or shallow water contour settings, you will be taking into consideration of density of 1, and you will be requesting chief officer for drafts with respect to fresh water. So once you have made all this, I'll make a route before getting the ENCs. Sometimes some people make routes in their ECDIS, sometimes they make route in their chart handling software. Depends on what procedure or what do you prefer. So once you make the route, I would name the route. My naming of route is very simple. I make the name of the route depending on the voyage number 127D. Then after this route you will use user map. On some ECDIS it is called user map, some it is called user chart. So I keep a tab over here. Obviously all my user map or user charts will not be ready at the beginning of my voyage. I will keep on adding them or keep on making them. So for example, here my user map of Kuala Tanjung departure. So this is ready, my second Indonesia to Suez. So at present all of these user maps are ready. So now there will be more user maps to it, because some companies want those nav area warnings to be plotted on manual correction. They want them to be on manually corrected, but I prefer to make them on user maps. That is much more desirable. It is easier to delete them, easier to edit them. So I prefer to make user map, and in some ECDIS it is not easy to make manual updates and to delete them or keep a track of them. So that's why I normally prefer to make a user map. For all my nav warnings, I'll prefer to make more user maps. So as my vessel will be passing through nav areas, I'll continue to add more user maps over here.
So you can see over here, these are my list of user maps which are ready as of now before departure, and once after departure I'll continue to add AIO layers, nav text warnings, nav area warnings.
So what is now after this, the main thing, the most important thing is ENC. You will request for ENC before departure, and you will make sure that your all ENC, voyage ENC is present before you depart from the port till the next port. All your ENCs must be present, installed, updated. Everything must be done. So I will request for ENC charts. Now once you have 2 voyages confirmed, if you want, you can request for both the ports ENCs together. If it is a short voyage, if it is a 5, 10, 15 days voyage, you can request for both the ENCs together. I would, as my personal suggestion, I would request for both the ENCs together, because if there is any errors or problem occurring, you can resolve them during your voyage. So that is why I would recommend you to request for ENCs together if it is a short voyage. But if it is a 20 or 30 days voyage, then on the later stage you can request for other port ENCs.
So to order ENC, there are different softwares. We always order charts through softwares like Navter, OneOcean, NaviPlanner, eMariner, MBA, Chart Planner, Chart Browser, and many more such softwares. Same as you have different 𝐏𝐻 on your ships, you also have different softwares on your ships. So depends which software is approved on your ship, so you will have that software with you. So now in this video I will show you how to order ENC through Chart Browser software. If you will understand the concept of one software, all the other softwares also, their principle will be same. So this is my software Chart Browser. Here I will create my route. So my first port will be Vigo and my second port is Rotterdam. So again from Vigo to Rotterdam also I'll make the route at the same time. And I will request for the ENCs. So once I make the route, thereafter I will always request for ENCs. To request ENCs, normally on all softwares you will have this button which you can see where my cursor is. Select products by route, sometimes it is called route to basket button, something like this. It will always there on your all softwares. What it does is once you click that, it will itself select all the charts through which your route is passing. So you can see now I've clicked that, all the charts are turned into red through which my route is passing, and it has itself selected the charts for me. Now the next thing is, unless you have a pay system, pay as you sail, the minimum duration for which you can buy an ENC is 3 months. 3, 6, 9, 12. In such a order you can buy the ENC. You cannot just select for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. As you can see over here, there is only option for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months or 12 months. So I always request for minimum of 3 months. This is what general practice is. You will request your ENCs for 3 months minimum. But there will be few charts which you cannot request for less than 12 months. But those are 1 or 2 charts normally. But rest all charts you can select for minimum duration of 3 months. So here this is what I've done. Now what I'm doing is I'm manually or individually selecting all the charts through which my route is passing. I'm just reconfirming them whether they are selected properly or not. I'm just reconfirming them. So once I've done that, once I've done the reconfirmation, thereafter I will order the charts, as this is an offline system which I'm telling you. So you will click the send order button. It will send the charts. It will create order and it will create a file. That file I will send it to master and my captain will send it to my chart provider. Then they will issue me the permits. So this is what general practice is on all systems, no matter which software you are using. That it will generate a file, you will send that file to captain, that captain will send it to chart provider, and those chart provider will issue you all the permits. So after sending the mail to the captain has forwarded to chart provider, and now here I have received those permits. So these are various folders in which I have received the permits. I will save these files in my pen drive, and then after I will export in my chart browser software, and thereafter after exporting in my chart browser software I will take the pen drive to my 𝐏𝐻. I will install all the charts in my 𝐏𝐻. After installing the ENCs, always do an ENC report check for the voyage. Always confirm that whether you have received all the ENCs or not. is there any ENCs which are missing. So as you can see over here, this is what I'm doing. I'm confirming that whether I have received all the ENCs or not. So in my this voice Suez to Vico, there are 5 charts which are to be ordered. Now I'm checking them, which charts are missing. I will note down those charts. You can request for those charts in a separate order, or you can just write to your chart provider and ask them to issue these charts which are missing. So always recheck whether you have all the ENCs for your voyage or not.
So once I've received my ENCs, after that I will go